Welcome to the Marketing Smarts Live Show by Marketing Profs and the Marketing Smarts Podcast, where we dive into B2B news, resources, valuable guest content, and much, much more each and every week. If you're a B2B marketer looking for a place to learn, keep up to date, and have some fun along the way, well, grab a beverage, a notepad, or at least some style of writing utensil, and welcome to the show. Listen, marketers are often torn between campaigns that get immediate results, which are also immediately visible to executives, and tactics that enable them to plan ahead for company longevity. And through an economic downturn, it's never welcome. It can give marketers the excuse they need to focus on those long-term goals. Lindsay Hagan stated the biggest shortcoming that folks run into is that they oftentimes lose that long-term vision, or they invest in something for the long term but don't see immediate results and then pivot away from it and just go back to what they know. She emphasizes that using this time we're in right now to revisit organic content in particular and optimize it. She said, a great way that you can maximize your budget is you probably already have a lot of great content out there that you've created sitting right at the top of page 2. And we all know no one goes to the second page of Google. You have an opportunity to look at all the content you have on your site and find where the low-hanging fruit is. What content can I go back and optimize that might be right there, right in the top 10? That's just a small glimpse into today's show. We're going to talk about this and so much more. Hello to all my Marketing Smarts Live viewers today. I'm super excited to bring you episode 34 of the Marketing Smarts Live Show. This week's topic is all about maximizing your B2B marketing budget, recession strategies, and tips. So if you're ready to get your learn on, buckle up and let's get ready to rock and roll. I'm your boy, George B. Thomas, speaker, trainer, catalyst, and host of this here show, the Marketing Smarts Live Show, as well as the Marketing Smarts Podcast found on your favorite podcast app. Our guest clips today are brought to you by none other than Lindsay Boyajian Hagan. Lindsay is the VP of Marketing at Conductor, where she manages all demand generation and go-to-market activities. After 10 years of experience in the B2B SaaS space, Lindsay's strengths lie in scaling marketing teams and building cross-channel campaign strategies. A determined entrepreneur, Lindsay began her career by launching her own company, We Are Ever You Go. She then joined Augment, a Salesforce-backed augmented reality SaaS platform, where she built the marketing team from the ground up and executed all online lead generation. Lindsay was a Discovery Awards finalist for Emerging Women Marketers in Tech in 2017. She has presented at notable conferences such as Digital Summit DC, Inside Intercom, the New York NYC Product Marketing Conference, and Conductor's C3 Marketing Conference. Now, remember, the clips of Lindsay from today are pulled from the full Marketing Smarts podcast episode. And if you want to listen to the full interview with Lindsay and myself, make sure you tune in to the Marketing Smarts podcast. Link to the full show will be in the description below after the live show ends. That's right. All the right links in all the right places at just the right time. Now, in this episode, again, I'm talking with Lindsay about maximizing your B2B budget. That's not even a word. Maximizing your B2B budget, recession strategies, and tips. I wanted to dive into how we as marketers can maximize our marketing budget. So I asked Lindsay, how can marketers get started pertaining to recession strategies? Lindsay wanted to dive into SEO as a starting point and shared a few things to think about as well as look at. And here's what she actually had to say, what she wanted to share with you, the Marketing Smarts Live viewer.
Yeah. And first I would just say is SEO is a huge opportunity area. And if you are a listener and you're feeling a little intimidated by it, or you're sort of just dipping your toe in, and you might feel behind. Oh my God, all my competitors have been doing this for a while. There's no bad time to get started. And the sooner you get started, the higher impact you can have on the business. SEO is by far one of, again, the most impactful channels in terms of generating traffic. And then ultimately it's one of the highest converting channels as well. And so if you're thinking about where do I start, I would remind folks about the pie framework we talked about earlier. So protect, improve, and expand. And so you want to make sure that you are, again, protecting your site, creating that technical foundation, two, improving the content that you already have, and then expanding. And if you don't even know, you're like, okay, great, pie, but like I still have 50,000 pages. Where do I start? That's where a technology like a Content King, or there's others out there that are site auditors, can help you identify what's most broken on my site and what's having the biggest impact, negative impact on my traffic. And then two, where are those big opportunity areas that if I, with a little bit of effort, I can make a big impact. So I think the thing is, don't worry. There's a lot of technology out there that can help you with this. You're not going to have to do it on your own. And so I'm definitely a resource for folks. If you do have any questions about this, your listeners can feel free to reach out, because I know there's a lot when it comes to SEO. It can feel like a black box, but we've worked with thousands of customers. And so always happy to help, just if you're like, I don't even know where to start.
And of course, if you have questions, you can reach out to Lindsay. But did you hear that? SEO is a huge opportunity area, and there is no bad time to get started. Make sure you pay attention to that pie strategy. Also, you can dig in deeper to that framework by heading over to the original podcast episode. Now, I love that Lindsay pointed out, find those areas where little effort can make a big impact. That is a key in life. Are you an SEO ninja or an SEO novice? That's the question that I want to ask. Put the answer to that in the chat pane, or let me know on Twitter using the hashtag MPB2B. And of course, tag me using @GeorgeB.Thomas. Now we'll get back to Lindsay and her thoughts on maximizing your B2B marketing budget, recession strategies, and tips. But first, I have to ask, are you part of the Marketing Profs community? If not, become part of the Marketing Profs community by heading over to mprofs.com/MP today. That's mprofs.com/MP today. It's free, people. Just go do it. Now, it's time for one of my favorite sections in the B2B news, where we talk about breaking B2B news or really important tips we find on the Google News tab related to you and your B2B business. This week, the title is 4 Strategies for B2B Marketers to Increase ROI During the Economic Downturn by Tal Scholzberg. Hopefully, Tal, I said that right. As the economy slows, B2B marketers being challenged with longer sales cycles, lower deal amounts, and churning customers. If that isn't enough, many companies are slashing marketing spend. With that being said, CMOs can see significant short-term improvements that will help them power through the forecasted downturn by focusing on these areas of their business: optimizing campaigns for offline conversion events, marketing channels with short-term CAC or CAC payback periods, your best customer cohorts, and conversion rate optimization or CRO. If you want to learn about any of those 4 things, make sure you dig in deeper, read the article, check out the link below when the live is over. That's right, all the right links in all the right places at just the right time. But enough with the shenanigans. Let's get back to Lindsay and her Marketing Smarts podcast episode. Are you using the right words for your desired customers? Are you leveraging voice of customer to impact your company's success? Heck, does this even have a true impact on your company's success at all? Well, we found out the answer when I asked Lindsay the question, what are some basic strategies that B2B marketers should be leaning into? And here's what she had to share with that question.
Yeah. So number one, I would say, and this goes to what you spoke about a little earlier about your conversation with Nate Brown, is all about putting the customer first and listening to the customer voice. And what we mean by that is, it's great if you're doing all this marketing, but if it's not what your customers want and it's not keeping up to their changing behaviors or desires or needs in the current economy, you're going to be left by the wayside. And so first is really understanding, listening to the customer. And it's not as just listening, and you can kind of take that in a lot of different ways. Like one good example of sort of listening to the customer and adapting is one of our clients at Conductor. They're one of the large insurance brand, and they used to use the term cyber risk to refer to a type of insurance offering. And what we helped them uncover is that their target customers weren't actually using those words. And so when they went to search for no one was searching cyber risk insurance. And so what they found out was they were actually searching for cyber liability insurance. And so by listening to their customer, understanding the language that the customer was using, adapting their marketing to the voice of the customer, they saw about 100% increase in traffic to that section of the site, which for a business, big or small, has a huge impact. Especially organic traffic is often one of the highest converting from traffic to closed won business channels. So again, listening to the customer voice, big or small, and applying that in different ways can just have a big impact.
Big or small. Did you hear that though? If it's not keeping up with your customers' behaviors, desires, wants, needs, then it's going to fall to the wayside. My, oh my, some good words of wisdom, even though we're not at the good words of wisdom portion of the show yet. Make sure you're using the right words. Make sure you're having the right conversations. Make sure you're listening to your prospects, leads, and customers. Also, make sure you check out that Nate Brown episode on leveraging a VOC or voice of customer. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. One of my favorite episodes of the Marketing Smarts podcast. We'll get back to Lindsay here in a few minutes, but first, it's time for some dope B2B learnings from the vault of Marketing Profs articles. That's right, it's time to dig into the treasure trove of valuable information and pull out 2 pieces of gold to help you be a better B2B marketer. Article 1 of this week, well, organic SEO. What does it really mean? By Scott Baresh. When people refer to organic SEO, search engine optimization, they almost always use it as a blanket term to describe the unpaid algorithm-driven results of any particular engine. However, a sophisticated search engine optimization company will often take the meaning of organic one step further. To such companies, this organic SEO is not limited to what shows up in the natural search engine results. It includes the methodologies used to achieve such rankings. There's more than one way to skin a cat, although I must admit that I don't know the one way that everyone else presumably knows. It's kind of funny article, by the way. There's some little things in there. And the same is true for achieving natural search engine results. A search engine optimization company usually falls into one of 2 camps. What are those 2 camps? In other words, want to know more? Well, then make sure you check out the links in the description below. Article number 2 this week. 3 modern SEO best practices every CEO, CMO, and CIO should know by Carrie Morgan. Although some aspects of SEO haven't changed much in the last decade, relevant content, page titles and descriptions, keyword research, the importance of page load speed, the influence of social media and inbound marketing are causing seismic shifts in the search optimization, especially at the enterprise SEO level. Having the right in-house team or external partner is now a fraction of the ROI equation, ranking that actually has an impact on your revenue. Want to keep learning what in the world that article is talking about? If so, check out the links in the description below after the live show to get access to both amazing Marketing Profs articles. All the right links will be there at just the right time for you. Back to Lindsay. Let's dive back into the conversation of maximizing your B2B marketing budget, recession strategies, and tips. You know me. I like to try to remove the hurdles that might get in your way, and the only way to get them out of the way is to know what in the heck they might be. So I asked Lindsay the question, what are some historical hurdles you've seen get in the way of B2B marketers pertaining to today's topic? And here's what she had to share with us. So get ready to jot those hurdles down so you can eradicate them out of your way.
Yeah, I think one of the big things that we as marketers across kind of channels struggle with is the balance between short term and long term, where need more leads, we need them quickly. Oh my God, I don't have enough for the Q2 pipeline. So you're always sort of in that sort of mode, but it can also compromise our investments in the long term. And so you have to be able to balance both. And I think the biggest sort of shortcoming that folks run into is that they oftentimes lose that long-term vision, or they invest in something for the long term, don't see immediate results, and then pivot away from it and just go back to what they know, whether that be maybe throwing more money at media because they know they'll get those immediate leads. But we often say at Conductor, you really want to plant a tree and plant a seed, and you have to plant the seed for the future. And if you plant that seed today, it will grow. But if you're not watering it and nurturing it over time, you're never going to have a tree. And so we want folks to make sure, I would urge folks to make sure that you're balancing that short and long term and planting those trees for the future today.
Oh my gosh, the short term versus the long term. Do you fall prey to what Lindsay shared? Have you ever headed down the road of a long term strategy only to get a couple weeks or months down the road and found yourself jumping back into your comfort zone or what you thought might get immediate results? I know we've probably all been there, but patience and belief in a long-term strategy can be hard. But when you water a tree or plant a seed that becomes a tree like Lindsay shared, the future success can be completely mind-blowing in all the right ways. Now, we're going to get some words of wisdom from Lindsay here in a few minutes, but right now it's time to turn the spotlight on you, the Marketing Profs community. Yep, time for From the hashtag MPB2B community. Ladies and gentlemen, we search far and wide in the hashtag MPB2B universe to find amazing information and conversations to bring to you, the masses. So first, make sure you're using the hashtag. And second, make sure you have fun and add value to the community along the way. Then we'll spotlight you or your crew on the show. This week, it's Christine Gritman, or at C Gritman on Twitter. She said on Twitter, if you head on over to the at Marketing Profs hashtag MPB2B forum event page, you may see a familiar face or a few. By the way, the link's going to be in the description below. But she continues to say, come hang with me and Ann Hanley, of course, in Boston, October 4th through the 6th. Hashtag chat about brand. And she's right. If you go over to the B2B forum page, you'll see folks like Jay Schwedelson, Andy Crestadina, Mark Schaefer, Joe Polizzi, Christine Gritman, and heck, you might even find your boy George B. Thomas on the speaker page as well. But you need to check out the description and click that link to check out the post and read or learn more, and even maybe join us in person for the B2B forum. Marketing Smarts viewers, I have to ask, are you going to be next to get the spotlight? Remember, community, use that hashtag MPB2B on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, and get the light shined on your awesomeness in the next episode or a future episode of the Marketing Smarts live show. Pro tip, it won't hurt if you tag me into your post as well. I'm at George B. Thomas on LinkedIn and Twitter. And if you use Facebook, at Mr. George B. Thomas. All right, let's kick it back to Lindsay and some words of wisdom around this topic of maximizing your B2B marketing budget, recession strategies, and tips. Here's what Lindsay wanted to leave us with as far as words of wisdom as we kind of start to land the plane today.
Yeah, I think it goes back to our tree analogy from earlier. At Conductor, we always say the best time to plant a tree was yesterday, but the second best time is today. And so a downturn can be an opportunity, and consider it the right time to start growing those roots that will help your company weather the current storm, but also future storms. And by planting those roots today, you have an opportunity to come out of whatever sort of storm we're in stronger than before. And so I would urge everyone not to be scared, but embrace this as an opportunity as marketers to maybe think about things differently. Double down, like we said, focus in on the things that are working, and then try new things where and when it allows.
When and where it allows. Are you using this time to plant a tree? Are you giving yourself the opportunity for the roots to grow and to come out of this storm even stronger? Honestly, I hope the answer to that question is yes. Have you enjoyed today's journey? Let us know. Use that hashtag MPB2B on whatever platform you're joining us on. Time flies when you're having fun, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Head to the description below. Click on the link to the full Marketing Smarts podcast with Lindsay, Boyajian, Hagan, and keep on learning more about maximizing your B2B marketing budget, recession strategies, and tips. Remember, these were just a few clips of the original Marketing Smarts podcast interview. If you got value out of today's show, hit that like, and better yet, share it with a coworker or friend. To keep learning more, hit that subscribe or watch additional Marketing Prof videos on your favorite social channel, or head over to our YouTube channel and hit subscribe if you're not there yet. You can go tune into the original Marketing Smarts podcast episode on your favorite podcast app. If you haven't done that, shame on you. You should. And don't forget to become part of the Marketing Profs community by heading over to mprofs.com/MP today. That's mprofs.com/MP today. Did I mention it's free? And as always, remember to be a happy, helpful, humble B2B marketing human. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Marketing Smarts live show next week.